Hello! In this video, I'll talk about Windows Firewall overview. How to disable it on a local computer. How to disable it by using group policy via Active Directory. How to enable Windows Firewall on a local computer and configure it. How to enable Windows Firewall by using group policy via Active Directory and configure it. As you know, Windows Firewall is a firewall component of Microsoft Windows. It was first included in Windows XP Service Pack 2 and Windows Server 2003. Windows Firewall is a software application that sits between your computer and the internet to protect your computer from attacks coming from hackers on the internet. It can be configured to allow only certain inbound connections and certain outbound connections. In this way, a rogue user outside of your firewall cannot get at your computer, but you will still be able to access the internet from behind your firewall, and we will discuss that further in this video. By default, Windows Firewall is turned on, and you can turn it off, but unless you are troubleshooting an issue or plan on installing another firewall, it's not recommended to disable your Windows Firewall, as it's considered an important part of securing your computer. Also, if you are disabling the firewall because a program cannot access your computer or the internet, try to allow the program through the firewall first. As you know, Windows Firewall monitoring and protect three types of network. Private network. This setting is applied when the computer is connected to a home network. Public network. This setting is applied when the computer is connected to a public network, such as an airport or coffee shop. Domain network. And this setting is applied when the computer is connected to a domain controller, which is controlling a Windows domain. The reason for having these three network options is the fact that you can configure network and firewall rules for each network individually. So, as a computer moves from one network to another, or a domain is available or disconnected, the computer security and network behavior will change automatically. Okay, now let's go to turn Windows Firewall off on local computers. Open Control Panel. Click on Windows Firewall. As you see, the Windows Firewall status is on by default. To turn it off, click on Turn Windows Firewall on or off. Select Turn off Windows Firewall in private network and turn off in the public network. Okay. Pop-up Windows notification message asked you to tap in the message to turn on again. As you see, the status is off. To turn on again, you can click on Turn Windows Firewall on or off in the left navigation band and change the status to on in both network profile. Or you can click on Use Recommended Setting to turn Windows Firewall on. As you see, Windows Firewall turned on but not configured, and as you know, by default, most programs are blocked by Windows Firewall to help make your computer more secure, and only will notify you when blocks a new application. And to configure it, click on Advanced Settings. As you see, the status of Windows Firewall in all network profile is on. Go to Inbound Rules, right click and select New Rule. On the rule type page, Program. A rule that allow or block connections for a specific executable file. Port. A rule that allow or blocks communications for a specific TCP or UDP port number. For example, if you want to block all ingoing connections on port 80. Predefined. A rule that controls connections for a Windows components. Typically, Windows enables these rules automatically. Custom. A rule that can combine program and port information. I will select program to block Google Chrome program for test. In this program path, type the path of Google Chrome program in the text box. Or you can use browse and select the program. See program file, Google, Chrome, applications. Okay. Next, select block the connections. Next, select all network profiles to apply the rule to all network. Domain, private, public. Next, type a name for the rule and the description. Finish. As you see, the rule created and configured to block all inbound traffic to Google Chrome program, and the rule takes effect immediately. Go to Outbound Rules, right click and select New Rule. On the rule type page, select Program. Click on Browse and select the program. See program file, Google, Chrome, application. Okay. Next, select block the connection. Next, select all network profiles to apply the rule to all network. Domain, private, public. Next, type a name for the rule and the description. Finish. As you see, the rule created and configured to block all traffic. Now, we block all inbound and outbound traffic to Google Chrome program. Let's check and open Google Chrome. msn.com. As you see, it's blocked. Windows firewall blocked the connections. Let's check another site. cnn.com. The same, it's blocked by firewall. Open run and type wf.msc to open firewall with advanced security directly. Go to inbound and double click on the rule to edit. Change rule action and select allow the connections. Okay. Go to Outbound and double click on the rule to edit. Change rule action and select allow the connections. Okay. Go to Google Chrome, reload the website. As you see, it's allowed now. msn.com working fine. Okay, instead of manually configuring the same Windows firewall rules on many different computers, you can export Windows firewall setting to .wfw file and transfer it between different computers and then import it. Let's see how to export. Right click on the top node, select export policy, select the location of exported file and type the name of file. Successfully exported. Also, if something went wrong somewhere in Windows Firewall and you messed up, in such a case, you can import all rules, policy, and all configuration by using the exported file .wfw. Let's see how to import. Right click on the top node, select import policy, warning message, The importing policy will override all current rules and replace it with the exported content of the .wfw file. Select yes to proceed. Yes. Select .wfw file that was exported previously. Successfully imported. Also, you can disable or delete the rule. If something wrong and you need to test, you can disable the rule or delete. If you wish to reset your Windows firewall settings and rules to its default, you can do so. Right-click on the top node, select Restore Default Policy, warning message. The restoring will reset all changes that you have made since Windows was installed and replace it with the exported contents of the .wfw file. Select yes to proceed. Yes. Restored successfully. Diagnose and repair. This option troubleshooting and detecting problems and checking the firewall status. And then you will see view options if any issue occurs on your computer. Select the suitable one. Let the tool complete the repairing and then follow the instruction on the troubleshooting window. Okay? Now, let's see how to disable or enable Windows Firewall by using group policy via Active Directory and how to configure it. Okay, let's jump to the domain controller. From Server Manager, in Domain Controller Server, open Tools. Select Group Policy Management. Right-click in the container in which you want to store and link your group policy. Select Create a GPO in the domain and link it. Type the name of group policy. Created. Right-click and select Edit. Navigate to Computer Configuration, Policies, Windows Settings, Security Settings, Windows Firewall with Advanced Security. As you see, all network profiles not configured. Click on Windows Firewall Properties. The status in domain network not configured. Press to change to off. Go to private, change it to off. Go to public and change it to off. Now, the status of all network profiles disabled. Close. Let's check. Open CMD. Run gb update/force to refresh and update group policy new settings. Complete successfully. Open control panel. Windows Firewall. As you see, in the notification bar, some settings are managed by System Administrator. Also, we cannot be able to turn Windows Firewall on or off. All options dimmed. Okay, let's click on Use Recommended Settings. As shown, can't change some of your settings because they are controlled by group policy. Let's check client's computer. Run gb update/force to refresh and update group policy new settings. Complete successfully. Control panel. Windows Firewall. The same, some settings are managed by system administrators. Also, we cannot be able to turn Windows Firewall on or off. All options dimmed. Okay, Click on Use Recommended Settings. Can't change some of your settings because they are controlled by group policy. Okay, let's jump to the domain controller again to see how to enable Windows Firewall and configure it. Right-click, Edit, navigate to the same path. Policies, Windows Settings, Security Settings, Windows Firewall with Advanced Security. Click on Windows Firewall Properties. Change the status of firewall to on in all network profiles. Domain, private and public. Okay. Now the status is on in all network profiles. Right click on Inbound Rule. Select New Rule. You can select predefined and allow appropriate Windows components such as Active Directory Domain Service. Next. Next. Allow the connections. Finish. New rule. Select predefined and allow all Windows component services such as NetLogon service, DNS service to avoid any interruption in the network. Okay, let's select the program. Next. Type the path of program. As a test, I will type the path of Google Chrome. Next. Block the connection. All network profiles. Type the name of rule. Finish. As you see, the rule is created and the action block. Go to Outbound Rules. Right click and select New Rule. The same, you can select predefined and allow appropriate Windows components such as Active Directory Domain Service to avoid any interruption in the network. Okay, let's select the program. Type the path of Google Chrome program. Next. Select block the connection. Next. All network profiles. Next. Type the name of rule. Finish. As you see, the rule created and configured to block all traffic. Now, let's check in the client computer. Open CMD, run gb update/force to refresh and update the new settings. Complete successfully. Open Windows Firewall. Advanced Settings. As you see, the rule created. Open Google Chrome, cnn.com. Blocked. Windows Firewall. Block the connections. Live.com. The same. Blocked by firewall. Okay, go to Domain Controller again. Right click, Edit, Policies, Windows Settings, Security Settings, Windows Firewall with Advanced Security, Inbound. Double click in the rule to edit. Change the action to allow the connections. The same in the outbound rules. Double click to edit. Change the action to allow the connection. Go to client computer, CMD, gb update/force to refresh and update the new settings. Done. Open Windows Firewall. Advanced Settings. Inbound. As you see, the rule change it to allow. Outbound also changed. Open Google Chrome, CNN.com, working fine, live.com, working fine too. Okay, I hope you have enjoyed. Many thanks and see you in the next video.